Short one, take one, stage. 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, so today's my birthday. Yes, I'm 30 years old. My mom reminded me last week that in May to But anyways, we'll talk about that a little bit later. How do I feel? First of all, I'm happy because I'm 30 years old. God gave me 30 years of existence and I'm truly grateful. I'm nervous because I don't know what the future holds. I'm disappointed, obviously, because, I've made some huge mistakes. Some of them I regret, even though life isn't really about regrets. But yeah, I regret some of the decisions I made back in the day. And I'm not where I really want to be. Also, COVID-19 has sort of slowed us down. But over and above everything, I'm happy that I'm alive in 2020. It's a crazy year, but I'm glad I get to spend it with all of you. So I'm going to share my story. I look back and I have mixed emotions. I'm grateful for everything that has happened. I'm thankful for my parents, I'm thankful for my mom. I'm proud of myself because I've always been a dreamer. I'm an overachiever. I remember when I was 14 years old, Team Yo TV, I don't know if you're with me. Woman Disa, Shade. I used to watch them on TV, and back in the day, I had a stuttering problem. I was like, you know what, one day I'm gonna be a huge superstar. My sisters would laugh at me, my mom would laugh at me. And then, fast forward, I went to college in Malaysia, thanks to the government of Botswana. I went to Malaysia as an 18-year-old. So naive, first time on a plane. I know, right? I get to Malaysia, get to this beautiful Asian country, so developed, and that's when everything changed. I met MISSGEEKAYS in Kuala Lumpur. I started getting my notes because I've always been a writer. I write everything down so I don't forget. And then this is when I ask myself so many questions. What do you want to do in life? When you were young, you wanted to be on TV. Is it still an idea? Is it something you still want to pursue in the future? Then I was studying marketing, business computing, specializing in e-marketing. And I'm like, yeah, I have 4 years to study. I'm gonna have some free time. So let me start working on my other things that I really want to pursue when I get to Botswana. A friend of mine, Patience Inailing, started talking to me about my dreams, because we used to talk about what is it that we want to achieve in the future. She's like, you know what, you've got a great voice actually. I could shoot TV. We start shooting at events. I'd bring my little mic and my squad, 3KT's entertainment. Somebody goes about how they're feeling about this. Little did I know, this was preparing me for this life that I'm living now. Mid Valley. Cab drivers were interviewing Malaysians, and this was just me trying to prep myself because I wasn't studying anything media related. 2012, I come to Botswana. And I come back with this degree, but I want to pursue something else. I come back as a 22-year-old. I'm like, yeah, what's been happening in Botswana? Is MISSGEEKAYS ready for all of this? Through it all, I just kept on praying for God to really guide me through it all. I really want everything that I do, I want it to be in alignment with God's timing. Because God's timing is always perfect. And then by the grace of God, I started off with Property for You. I remember my Property for You days. Because I got to anyway. So then Property for You was the beginning of this brand, MISSGEEKAYS, right? And then 2013 October, my mother. When I want to the TV, ginsi good Baba jadi presenter ko RB2. Oko what's the whole confirm and then apply. I'm like, there you go, mother. And then I started applying. I was called for an interview. I had to convince RB2 management that, you know what, I might not have a degree in marketing, but I'm gonna be the greatest asset. I'm gonna be the greatest asset. And I got my job. I got it 2013 October, my first time on air. Let me tell you something about the power of a spoken word. When I was 14, I told my family that I was gonna be a television presenter. When I was in Malaysia, I used to tell my friends, guys, can I get on Botswana? Get MISSGEEKAYS. I get on Botswana. I am going to be a Lebonza. My Twitter profile, upcoming TV personality, upcoming radio personality. Little did I know. But I'm glad that the 4 years I spent in Malaysia, I used them wisely. I got to learn a lot about TV production, TV presenting. I used to present in church and host, events back in Malaysia. I had my own media company with my friends, and I was able to, learn my interviewing skills back in the day. So I got my job. And then I guess I'm why can I property for you? I'm like, oh hey now. And then I just fell in love with the radio. I fell in love with the radio, then now I was doing both TV and radio. And then at some point in time, I was like, I think I'm ready to start my NGO. And whilst I was in uni, I had a file in my laptop titled Who Am I? I'm like, hey, kind of used to write a lot about who am I, issues of self that comes from the fact that I grew up, the way I grew up was just a bit funny. I was bullied almost all my life. So really, thank you guys, because now I'm strong. And I started writing some stuff down about who am I. I thought, God, maybe one day I'm gonna be this huge influential person and I'm gonna help those kids, who want to be something but they're so scared because other kids are bullying them. Or maybe they've got issues of self, they've, confidence issues. They can't even present in front of 30 people. I'm gonna be their voice. So I started writing down my plan, NGO, this big NGO called Who Am I? So December 2015, I reopened that file. Man, those were beautiful ideas. I'm like, that's it. This is how I pick up the pieces. 2016, January, started off with a beautiful campaign. Who are you? Called a few of my friends and boom, people started knowing about who am I. One, two, I'm visiting schools. I'm having projects, breakfast sessions with women. I'm having tea parties. I'm having poetry nights. And then Who Am I took me to Namibia in 2019. I flew on the 18th of June, 2019. I collaborated with an NGO called Afriyan Namibia, and we visited a couple of orphanages. I went to a couple of high schools in Namibia just to learn and understand the issues that are faced by young people living in Windhoek, Namibia. So I had a really great time. And then there was Who Am I? And then one day, I was like, there you go, Kumo. You've always wanted to be on TV. You've always wanted to be on radio. You've always wanted to have an NGO. There's something missing. You need to be rich, girl. So there comes entrepreneurship. What do you want to do when you grow up? How are you gonna make money? Turn my brand into a business. And then I love fashion. I love clothes. I'm like, I'm gonna have my own fashion line one day. I look back at all these years. I'm 30 years old. I'm a television presenter. I'm a radio personality. I'm a corporate MC. I'm a voiceover artist. Who Am I is growing, my little baby. I host a primetime slot on radio. I've done some really cool TV shows. I've hosted a lot of live shows. Man, God is great. God is amazing. Little did I know. When you're young, you just see these things, but they don't really sink in. But years later, you're like, wow, this was me 10, 20 years earlier saying this is who I want to become. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I am MISSGEEKAYS. I'm happy that I get to do what I love every single day. I have bad days. Trust me, at some point, I wanted to quit because I had a plan of just being on radio because I loved it. I had a plan of being on TV. I didn't know that this comes with a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, so here I am. I think in Botswana, so I think people should call me Kumokwadi, not MISSGEEKAYS. MISSGEEKAYS in her 20s, but now I'm 30 years old. Last year, 2019, towards the end of 2019, we found out that my mom has a rare form of cancer called CMML, and everything changed for me. Sometimes God can just humble you, bring about certain situations that bring you closer to Him. I think that is when everything changed. I started feeling bad. I was mad at myself for not calling more often, for not checking up on her, for not giving her the love that she deserves. And that really changed. And she's now my number one priority. We're trying to adjust as a family. She's not as loud as she used to be. She's not as happy as she used to be. She's just adjusting to the new changes, having to live with this condition. And we've been really strong for her. We have days, I have days where I'm just really sad. I have days where I'm happy. I have days where I have questions. I question God as to what's going on. Why is my mom going through something like this? But then I remember, you know what? Everything really happens for a reason. For the fact that she's still alive, that's good enough for me. And every single time I wake up and I'm alive, I'm like, thank you, God. When I get to call in the morning and she's in pain, but because she's still here, I'm like, thank you, God, still. So a lot has changed for me. I've grown. I'm more wiser now. I'm less emotional. And really, I am focusing on what's important. If you're listening to me, you're watching this and you're in your 30s and you're asking yourselves too many questions that, oh no, I failed this, I haven't achieved so and so, that's okay. That's okay. You can always start over. I look forward to the future. I've done my bit. I've done almost every other show on TV. I've done every other show on radio. Who Am I is growing. I want to give Who Am I more attention and the love that it deserves. I want to collaborate with a lot of NGOs across the world. So I look forward to that. And now it's time for me to own my own content, create my own content and make a lot of money. So a big shout out to my new media partner, Industry Media. So I look forward to that. I want to spend more time behind the scenes now and, make way for my bonzas that are coming up. But I'm happy. I'm 30 years old. I'm not where I really want to be, but I'm glad that I've achieved quite a lot. Of course, here and there I feel sad that, kumo, but it's life. We can't be perfect. We make mistakes. We learn from them. And I'm so happy. Happy birthday to myself. I look forward to so many great things. I look forward to some things I cannot tell you. You just have to stay tuned to my social media and get to, appreciate what I do. I want to thank everybody that has contributed to, the growth of MISSGEEKAYS. I've worked with a lot of amazing people. I won't be able to mention all of them, but please do forgive me. Starting off with my glam squad, Gabby Soekia, she's amazing. Gwen Isaacs, Memory Johnson, Rhea Strive Photography, Honna, Kojo Lee, people that make sure that I look good all the time, Pluri, Keno Custom Suits, Lolo, LT Peculiar. I've worked with quite a lot of designers, I've worked with a lot of makeup artists, I've worked with a lot of corporates, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. It's been one hell of a journey, but it was definitely worth it. Everything worth having, it's worth fighting for. So keep fighting, keep believing in yourself. You're gonna have bad days and good days, but in the midst of it all, be happy. Peace, love, and happiness to you. And happy birthday to me!